Call this meeting to order the Charter Township of Bedford at 6:30. We please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, let's see if we know. Yeah, there we go. Good evening, everybody. What the moment of reflection is, I'm glad and happy to say, from what I've been told, we will have two, or is it three? I think it's two centenarians. I've been trying to say that. There's going to be our grand marshals. So two people, 100 years old. But I think we don't we have three in our township now?
I think so. Yeah.
Three?
Three. And we're asking all three. I don't know if you guys know something different, but we are asking all three if they want to be grand marshal.
Are any of them here tonight?
No.
Okay. Well, before we leave out tonight, I got the name of two. I need the name of the third one. Okay. Okay, okay, let's have roll call.
Supervisor Johnson.
Present.
Clerk Rocco here. Treasurer Davis. Here. Trustee McKay.
Here.
Trustee Menke is excused. Trustee Blanchard.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins.
Here.
6 present. We have a quorum.
Well, I was only informed about one new one behind Mr. Campbell, but we'll get another one of these, but I'd like to read this. A certificate of recognition presented to Ardella Tillman in honor and grateful celebration of a remarkable milestone of 100 years of life, dedication, and community service. Your century of perseverance, wisdom, and impact and legacy and community spirit has left an indelible mark on the Charter Township of Bedford and shaped our community for generations. We celebrate your extraordinary journey and extend our highest respect and admiration on this day, August 11th, 2026. And it's going to be signed here by the entire board for a remarkable lifetime, 100 years. Sign it down there. Yeah, give Bruce another time. All right, 100 years old. Congratulations. We can clap for that. Good. Wow. That don't happen that often. Okay. Clerk report.
We have survived the state primary election. We had a 54% turnout, or 52.9% turnout for voters. The next election will be held November 3rd, so you'll see ballots in the mail at the beginning of October, end of September. Okay.
Okay, treasurer,
I really don't have anything, more than just taxes are well underway.
very good. Move for approval of the consent agenda. Minutes of the July 14, 2026 board meeting, payment of the bills at the amount of $42,932.92. Our budget report is in the packet, BC Police Department and Charter Township Fire Department reports in the packet. Building and zoning report. There is no assessor report. The assessors put the last one in, assessor's sick right now, but when I get it, everybody will get it, and it'll be on the website. Planning Commission liaison report, there was no meeting last month, so there won't be that in there either. Do we have any adjustments or additions to this?
I do.
Okay,
Sorry, three things. There are also the minutes from the special board meeting on July 27th included in this packet. And then a budget adjustment, moving from the contingency fund to the Parks and Rec fund, and I printed that out for you.
got that. Everybody got it?
Yeah. And then I also would like to add a motion to accept a formal FOIA from Mr. Dwyer. So we'll add that.
The FOIA appeal.
FOIA appeal. Yes.
We have to have that with within 8 days.
Yes. That's all that I have.
Anything else?
I have questions about bills when we get to the bottom.
Okay.
Can I go with them?
Yeah.
Joyce, I had the contingency fund question, and I see that you fixed that. So from contingency to Parks and Rec, the 4,000, the 62,000 and the 10,000 consumer grant. Did those get moved? And if so, where did they come out of? Because I don't see Parks and Rec changed for that.
So you won't, we have to approve it first.
Are we
Before I
gonna
think-
do that tonight?
We can do
We
that.
should, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So you want to add that to the budget adjustment?
Yes, we'll get that approved tonight so we can get that moved. And where is it gonna come out of? The general?
Yes.
Okay.
So then,
And then we can get a new printout.
yes.
My other couple questions.
So that, Shannon, the dollar amounts.
62,000 and something, isn't it? Do you have that 62,000 exact amount?
I don't have the exact amount.
Okay, and then the 10,000 consumer grant will be, so we're gonna see a up of over 72,000 into the Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Couple questions, check. 28203, Mike's Tree Service, 4950. Is that for the damage we had out on the property?
It is from the storm.
And that's 100% cleaned and done?
Correct.
Paid full?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I had one more thing. Right, oh, in the budget, we just got this afternoon, so I kind of got to go over it quickly. The budget page number 3. Can we delete, we talked about that before, can we delete the superintendent off of the budget? That'll make it,
The line item?
yeah, because we don't have a superintendent.
Yeah, when we get the system completely switched over, they can take that out, but that ain't something I can just delete.
Okay. Okay, and then page 5, Lisa's billing. So we had talked about that, Joyce, before about Lisa being split. Election and office deputy work. Is that being done?
She's just been on elections,
She's put,
just elections.
all
all
year,
elections.
all year.
This, yes, it's been really, really busy.
Okay. I know when we talked to the, accountant last year, he said we need to start doing that. Splitting, because she's also answering your phone in your office.
Okay,
So we have to give her, even if it's 10 or 20% office work, what you would
Okay.
deem
we
necessary.
can do that.
Yeah, please. ARPA, and then we can delete ARPA probably on our next one.
They're gonna still ask for paperwork for the next 2 or 3 years on that,
On the ARPA,
even though it's closed out.
okay. And it'll just stay at $0. Okay, I think I'm good.
I think it'll have to show there, so when you send the paperwork to the state of Michigan, that it's at a 0 balance.
Oh, couple other questions. Gross pay sheet. Does everybody have that? So June and July. So July, a couple questions. Blight. So I'm seeing June was $2,340, July was 2,119. We're making sure that he's staying under part-time hours, is that correct?
He doesn't ever exceed.
So he doesn't go over, okay. Okay. One other question, on this as well, we have a cemetery seasonal 1 for $840. We have a cemetery seasonal 2 for $360. Did we bring another one in for seasonal?
We had, one seasonal, but he only accumulated, what amount of money did you say?
One, we have cemetery seasonal 1 for $840. Second is cemetery seasonal for $360. Because last time we talked, there was only one.
No, we had two for the initial start, limbs abandoned. They're both gone now, right? Or is
I
he
haven't
gone
spoken
Friday?
to them. I haven't spoken to either of them.
But we only got one. The one guy only worked 2 days or something like that. That's why I have to check that amount that
Okay.
you're coming up with.
Okay,
But he only worked 2 days, I think.
so number 2. So they're both done now.
Well, one is gonna be done this week. The last one will be done
Okay.
this week.
Okay. All right, and I think,
And I hope we're not cutting off or spiking our nose. Because I don't really think.
okay. I'm good now. Thank you.
What you will see, those of interest, BSNA will be totally converted by the end of September. So you will see some different defaults. And they're in there in a way that you just can't delete it, until the format changes. And so,
Mhm.
and I think, Joyce, you had a 2-hour meeting with them today, didn't you?
No, it got moved.
Oh, okay. But they are in transition, getting us all tidied up in different modules, and so you'll see a change of that pretty soon.
Okay, and then our budget, you said you've been working on budget. Are we gonna be having a meeting soon to get that moving
Next month,
next month? Okay.
remember I said September, October, November to finalize it.
Thank you.
Yeah. That'll be our first open workshop.
Okay.
Okay, motion to accept the consent agenda,
So moved.
I'll support.
roll call.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Clerk Frosto, yes. Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Okay. Well, we need, approval to accept the agenda.
I make the motion to approve the agenda.
Was that you, Christie?
Yeah.
Roll call.
Treasurer Davis.
Yeah.
Trustee McKay,
Yes.
trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco. Yes. 6 yes, motion carried.
Now, anybody wishing to speak at public comment, on agenda items?
Did you forget something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Pending FOIA appeal.
What do you mean there?
You gotta vote to schedule my appeal hearing.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
It's not on the agenda. She just added it.
It's been added. It's been added. We'll get to it today
She did
in this meeting.
She did the addition at the beginning. I'm sorry? She did the addition at the beginning. Joyce added it. You missed it. Okay.
It's not shown on there. That was before.
Yeah, it's not on there. She added it manually. Okay. Before they started and approved the agenda, she added it.
Anybody else wishing to speak on the agenda item?
Mike Stipe. Just want to touch on the budget report. I brought it up last month about the road funding balance, being confusing and kind of semi incorrect, if you will. No changes to that. Randy was nice enough to get me the road contracts, to take a look at. Total deposit on the road work was $86,000, leaving us with, I think, about a balance of $260,411 to do. Road fund shows $249 has already been allocated, so only $100,000 available there. So I still think we need to figure out what's going on there. Otherwise, they're going to be 150 grand short on that. As far as that goes. Also, I was hoping to see that the county commissioner, Dan Scrubage, was here this evening. He's not. I would like to see this board put a little bit of pressure on the county to exercise the road agreement that they have with Consumers Energy for the solar project out there. That I think they're going to tell us tonight that that project is done. And the road agreement had new pavement going down out there, so I think that is important that we follow through and bonding's in place to that at no cost to anyone, the way I understand it. So I would like to see, they voted on that, and I believe May or June of last year. I forget what the resolution for what. Pressure on there that is executed this year. They did not maintain that road like they were supposed to when they were under construction. Not that is consumers' responsibility, the county's responsibility, and that's why we had a road agreement. Even though the county told us that that ordinance was not so nice, you know. I don't expect a thank you from them on that. And then also, the only other items on the agenda, boat launch, body camera, playground equipment. There's no information in the packet, so I don't know what we're talking about.
No, there's none because the discussions will be open and it'll be led by trustee Hoskins.
Okay.
So you'll know as much as all the rest of it.
All right, well, regarding the boat launch, I mean, if it brought up last month that the PC get involved, obviously we haven't even had a chance to have a meeting on that. And then, just, I guess, food for your own thought for discussion purposes. The PC level discussion will probably start tomorrow night. I mean, in some way, very informally, but master plan, the use of that land in that zoning district, the fact that we own it, you were told that we don't. I mean, those are all things that need to be brought up and shared with the public. Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak on agenda item? Moving along to reports, police and fire.
Hello, I'm obviously not Officer LaValle. I'm Officer Irons with Battle Creek Police Department. I'm here in place of Officer LaValle and Officer Phillips. I understand that he normally comes here and presents small statistics with you guys, in the months prior. He's asked me to review them and be here in his place. I've saw that there's a slight, uptick in simple assaults and traffic stops throughout the month of July, with a decrease of larceny. There was only 2 larcenies in the month of July, and it appears that our response times are on par with past months. And I ask that any questions be directed to me at the end of the meeting or to Officer Phillips or Officer LaValle when they return. Thank you.
Thank you, officer. I think Bill running late on a call or something like that. So if he gets here, we'll make him talk. And if he's not here, we're gonna keep right on going down to Parks and Recs. Tony Artist McPeak.
Good evening. Just wanted to give you a quick update, about Parks and Rec and what's going on. Most of you know we had to cancel our Markham Park cleanup because of the air quality issue and the heat that day. What we've decided is that the rest of the cleanups will take place in the spring at this point because we have the festival coming up and some other stuff. So we're gonna start back on cleanup in the spring, get them nice and ready. During these winter months, we're gonna go around and survey the parks and see what we need, what needs to be done so that we can get a new master plan in place. The master plan that, is currently in place is expired, so. The festival, September 19th. Hopefully we'll have a parade kicking off at 10:30. We're still waiting for permission on that. But you are correct. We want to do 3 grand marshals, being Mr. Campbell, Mrs. Tillman, and the third one is Mrs. Kegel, who turned 100 last fall, but we didn't have a festival last fall, so we want to include her. And as a side note to that, I don't know if any of you are aware that the county did a celebration honoring all the residents that were 100 or older, and they put out a very nice brochure with pictures and write-up. And Mrs. Kegel and Mr. Campbell were in there. They didn't get Mrs. Tillman.
Do you know Mr. Kegel's first name?
Myrna.
Myrna, okay.
Yeah. On a side note on that, all 3 also live in Level Park, so that's a boost for Level Park. That all 3 came from there. So after the parade will kick off from Marvin Street South and come down Bedford Road to the park. We have several people that want to participate in the parade. And we went back to that route because some people were talking about how the parades used to be in Bedford. And we are calling it the Bedford Township Days because some people think Bedford's its own little entity out there. And so they'll say, well, that's just for Bedford. No, this is to celebrate all of Bedford Township. So the Bedford Township Days Festival. I just got a call as I pulled in here from the Lions Club, and they are going to allow us to use their parking lot we want to set up. Level Park Racing is going to be in the parade with their race cars, and then they're going to set up there, and so kids can come and touch the cars and check out the cars, and then we hope to have the fire trucks and an ambulance there also. Lots of games planned. Bouncy houses, inflatable. We're working on entertainment. We are going to have the duck race like they've had in the past. a little bird told me that a group has come in to make s'mores for people. So if you like s'mores, hopefully that comes through. One additional new thing we're doing this year, and we're adding a history table with history items from Bedford Township and things like that. So festival goes till 2. We do have 2 volunteers to be arrested right now. Trustee Hoskins and Treasurer Davis. So if anybody else wants to be arrested and raise bail money, let me know. We're gonna get to working on that, and the proceeds from that will go back in to help cover expenses for next year. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions, just let me know.
I have a question. Did we get the road closure approved?
We haven't heard back yet.
We haven't heard back.
Right,
That
but
should be.
it was mailed.
Okay.
It was priority mail.
Did you see my email today?
No.
Okay, I'll talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
Tony, have you reached out to Bobby Holly?
I haven't, and I was going to the other day when I saw him, but the last time I talked to him, he said he's in retirement mode, and cutting back, but I'm gonna ask him.
He was in here the other day and he said, I'm not done yet.
Oh.
So,
I should know better. I've known Bobby a long time and I should know better, but he was insistent in the beginning that he was retiring. This was his last time around doing the bikes and stuff. And then I still
saying that for a decade.
yeah, but I,
he's
he's
actually,
in wheelchair a lot of the time now, so.
he's doing a knee crawl to Kalamazoo coming up shortly.
Stop.
Yeah,
Okay.
what he said.
Impressive.
I'm gonna make another one of these. So when you actually get ready to make them, Grand Marshal, could you get these to him? I'm gonna make hers, but I have to wait. I can get Bruce to sign them and I'll get them to you.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, I don't see Representative Frisbee and I don't think I see Commissioner Dan. So, that's posted.
Okay, so where was, I guess what question we're ready?
Well, I know you were gonna speak on a few things.
There's a couple things. First, I think, yeah, Greg's here, so we got the Township's guidance built application, so I just wanted to follow up with that, and there has to be a public hearing set for that, but that's gonna be, coming sooner than later, so. With the PILT application, it's a statute, that, it authorizes the township to see what, the way it's taxed is, it's assessed, it's personal property, so in the beginning, it's gonna be worth, what here, but then as years go by, it depreciates a lot, like when I see amortization tables. So what the legislature did was you could enter into a PILT agreement with the applicant. If it's 7,000 a megawatt for 20 years. So it removes that, any sort of, ambiguity of what, what would be occurring over the 20 years. We wouldn't have to go to you have to be, you'd avoid going to tax tribunal for the appeal because it's never into a contract with the applicant. So we only consider this if, the applicant submits an application, which they did. And then secondly, you're gonna have to get with your assessor and have them look over the numbers, these calculations that need to happen, and decide whether or not you want to enter into that PILT. If it's discretionary, you don't have to. Okay, I've seen it a couple of ways. I've seen it where it makes sense to do it because the township comes out ahead. I've seen where the townships come up behind. So you just really need to get with your assessor to figure that out. So we need to notify the taxing entities. So Christie, I'll probably get with you on that because we need to notice public hearing and we'll send that out to them. Other than that, they do submit an escrow for that, so we can talk to consumers, to defray those costs, but that's it. We do do that in the timeline, Greg, I think it's 120 days, but so it's, I don't know if you're gonna have time for the assessor to do what they need to do by the September meeting. So yeah, we can do it. If not, then we get pushed to October. I would just, Greg, we just might need to extend out the 120 days. We can, we just need an agreement from the applicant. So that's That's where that's at. Okay.
If we sign up, excuse me, at the beginning, there's a guaranteed amount, right, for 20 years?
It's
Is it-
7,000 a megawatt for 20 years, so you know exactly what it's gonna be assessed at
Yeah.
for those 20 years.
And I think that equals out to, if I'm not mistaken, it's is it 2.1 mil, Cody?
2.66 million.
Okay.
Yeah, $2,660,000 over the 20 years.
So that's just something to look at. Have your assessor look at the numbers and what they think. I mean, like I said, I've seen a couple of ways where it's beneficial and where it's not. And I've seen where the amortization tables were way up here. And some townships want that money right up front, I understand that, but as it depreciates over the years, you know, probably at some point you're setting yourself up for a tax bill, I guess. So that's, what else were we talking? I know there's several things I didn't know where.
You were gonna talk about, Mr. Dwyer's FOIA and also personnel issues.
Okay, so Joyce amended the agenda to add the FOIA appeal, so we sent that notice up to you today to, it's on the agenda, and I think as Mr. Dwyer said during public comment, we want to get that scheduled, so we just have to set a date within 10 business days, this year, so if they could coordinate schedules with Mr. Dwyer at any time, probably the best thing to do right now.
Do you want it to be a motion now?
Well, yeah, I don't know what availability is for the board or for Mr. Dwyer, so
Okay.
probably discuss that.
I'm available whenever you guys are ready.
Seth, when are you available?
What time, we were doing these like earlier in the day, was there a time that worked for, I know Shannon, last time we did around 9 o'clock, that was a little bit easier on your schedule, would that make
Yeah.
sense? Okay,
Fridays are better for me, but whatever works for the board.
I mean, the 21st. Yeah, the 21st would work, Friday the 21st at 9 AM.
We still in our window?
I'm sorry?
We're in our
That's,
window.
that's in the window up to the 24th.
Okay.
I'm out of town from the 18th through the weekend. And then I get on a plane, well, that's out of the window, but yeah, I'm not available Wednesday through Sunday.
And I won't be around on Friday, but I know
I
I'm,
could look at Tuesday. I can.
Tuesday, the 18th?
I'm off at a conference until the
Okay.
19th,
Tuesday
through the
and Monday.
19th. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I'll be out of town again on Friday.
So it's gonna be difficult to get everybody, we do need a quorum. I mean,
Okay,
obviously
four.
want, many people as possible, but it's just not, we can't do it, then I think what's the best date where we can get the most quorum?
I think the assessor should be here.
Yeah, what day does she work? Is it
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So,
Well, let's set Tuesday and whoever can be here, can you be here on Tuesday?
Tuesday, the
18th.
18th.
The 25th would be too late.
I may have a speaking engagement that day, and I'm probably not gonna know until the day before.
So we'll take that off.
So the 25th I'm not trying to delay anything, but I don't wanna be in a position where, I have to go.
Is it 25th in the
Yeah,
window?
25th is the 10th day. Will that work for you, Mr. Guard?
25th, what time?
9?
9?
What time?
9 AM?
On the 25th?
Yeah.
Fine with me.
Last remaining issue, earlier tonight, Mr. Dwyer, myself, and Scott talked about the last remaining issue of his previous former, FOIA request about, a block list. We were able to show him that. I was able to screenshot that and I emailed it to you during the meeting, so that should be done. Okay, so that matter has been closed out. So what? I know there's a few things. I know I was asking about body cams, I was asking about personnel matters.
Part-time to full-time.
Okay, so it was brought up that there was an employee who, I mean, it was years ago, several years, I think it was 6 years ago, that was hired as part-time or seasonal. And like, over the years, they started working full-time hours. Sure, I'm not entirely sure how that happened. I mean, there was several supervisors, and two superintendents, so I don't, during that time, so I don't know if there was, discussions between the employee and the supervisor or superintendent that authorized that, but regardless. So the question came is, like, what constitutes full-time, employment? So your personnel policy is what's gonna carry the day here, and your personnel policy was fairly straightforward, and it said anyone that's working over 35 hours is considered full-time. And it's my understanding that they've been working over 35 hours for, since then. So, under the plain language of personnel policy, they're a full-time employee. So, as such, then they would be entitled to, the township benefits and, whatever retirement plan through Hancock. So that's what it is. That's really all I have to add to that. I've answered questions, from several people. I just said personnel policy there, so. I'm going to.
Well, I have some questions.
Yeah, sure.
So the personnel policy, when has that been amended, Joyce? Do you know? Because I've never seen a personnel policy.
I have it right here.
You do?
Carried in one.
2021.
2021?
Oh, sorry. There is another one, but it has not been approved. It was
That's right.
denied.
Yeah.
It was,
It was denied
Well, I
because
think
there
we
were
were
some
still-
things that needed to be switched on up.
so we're in our policy. Do you have a page number that we're looking at this information?
Thought it was. Maybe page 3. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Maybe it was page 3 and something was going to.
Hiring policies. Okay.
There's an MCL code set, it says basically the same thing. I don't recall the exact number now, but
Well, I guess regardless, I'm not finding it in here.
I mean, I screenshotted it and sent it up as classifications of employees. There's full-time, part-time, temporary, seasonal, and irregular. So when we looked at this, full-time hours is at least 35 hours per week. That's what was happening for, I believe, a period of 6 years. So they were never, transitioned to full-time, I get, with that title, but under the policy, it doesn't require a transition, like a formal transition. It just requires at least 35 hours. So they're full-time, because of the hours that were worked, so they'd be entitled to the benefits and the 401k contribution through Hancock. So that's.
And that's been ongoing for 6 years?
Yeah, for 6 years. I mean, I don't think they were on the benefit plan for 6 years. I don't think they were on benefits, that I'm just saying when it got brought up, the question was, are they full-time? Yes. Are they entitled to benefits? Yes, they're full-time because of full-time.
So we're basically kind of being forced to put full-time. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, he does not have to be full-time. He just has to be allowed the benefits that's allowed to him for working full-time. So he would still be part-time, but he would still be offered the 401k or the health insurance or.
That's incongruent.
Yeah, that's kind of being forced that we have to do this for somebody, and I'm not good with that. What I want to know is payroll. Who's been watching payroll for 6 years? I know we've been through people. But who's been watching payroll? Because I'm seeing,
The supervisor signs off on,
right,
Yes.
but you also do payroll too. Like you know
right,
the
and
numbers.
I mentioned that.
You have to the
Yes,
superintendent,
I
nobody's
have.
done anything? You've done it
It's
to all of
moved.
them? Because what I'm seeing now is he's making close to what Thor's making. So somebody should have caught that somewhere. And I'm still on the same thing. There is not enough work in the winter to keep 2 full-time employees busy here. We've had 8 burials all year here, 8 or 9. Most are cremation. So we're not busy on the cemetery with burials. We've got a park that does need a lot of work and those are getting neglected. Here we are. There's not enough work. So when I asked you about the winter, you know, you're saying that they can do office work or they can paint. That's not qualifying this money.
I don't
in
think that,
benefit.
I don't think personally that he should be full-time.
Okay.
I don't think that.
Okay.
So-
Perfect. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I've always said he should be part-time.
Cause if he's been 6 years part-time and he's been happy, I don't understand where it came from out of here now. And
But he's worked the hours.
right, he has, but he's been doing it. So isn't he close to retirement?
Yeah.
So that's my question. Why now?
It just got brought up to the township, and
right.
then I got the call, I think
Yeah.
it wasn't a township regulation, someone brought it to the township.
Right, and I did a comparison maybe at last month's meeting. I remember asking about keeping him part-time, making sure his hours stay below part-time. But in July, he actually worked more than June. So we're still not keeping hours under part-time.
Well, in July is when we had the storm and the need for him to be there. See, he's not here not doing nothing. He's here actually working. And as far as him, the hours that he's worked, he started working those hours in the year 2020. So he's worked them through 4 supervisors and 2 superintendents. They must have thought they had work for him. That's like, there's none of them here for, I can speak for him, but this one that's sitting here, I had work for him to do. And I signed his paycheck for actual work that he's been doing.
I understand that, but it still doesn't negate the fact that he's part-time and we have to keep him below that or we're in the position we're in now.
Well,
Because the 11% interest, the insurance stipend, it's like we're being forced to do this. And that's just neglect on past and prior. I'm sorry, but that's true.
That doesn't, is it our personnel policy that's dictating here, or is it labor law that's dictating?
Both.
Because part-time, you know, you can have seasonality to a part-time position. Where, for example, in the summer, they may work 40 hours a week, but in the winter, they're down to 10. And that could be defined in a different way to indicate that person is still part-time.
So, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, there are other laws that could apply, and most of those laws are for, like an organization, 50 employees or more. So we don't reach that.
Good.
And then secondly, I mean, your personnel policy, a full-time employee is an employee who works at least 35 hours per week.
That's all it says.
It's all it says.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Now, is that 35 hours per week averaged out over the year, or somebody hits 37 hours in 1 week and now they're full-time?
It doesn't say. It's a question
It's our
that
policy.
I was.
That needs
around when we
revisited.
did it.
That needs
That's-
to be completely that person.
Right, and when I made a recommendation, I can only go by what's the plain language of this personnel
Yeah.
policy. Like that's, and all these questions that, you know, Scott had, I mean, that you had, those were thoughts that came to my head, but I mean, when I'm working with one sentence, it's a bit difficult to,
You're constrained by the
yeah, and I'm
sentence.
just going
That's
by
it.
what's in front of me.
Okay.
The US Department of Labor and their laws in Michigan, they base it on a 40-hour work week. We don't work 40 hours, but that is the accepted norm. I would think that the people in front of me said, well, I'm not working 40 hours. So they didn't ever, you know, I could see how someone had been thinking we'd never give him 40 hours a week. So it is what it is. You worked up so many hours and that's just what it is.
Right, and I don't want to take hours from Mike, I'm not saying that from Mr. Desitow, or that he doesn't do a good job. However, he's supposed to be part-time. If we've got 2 seasonals, we could have bumped those seasonals to do a few extra hours and not put Mike over.
Yeah, but we only had them people for a few weeks. That's just been a few weeks. That don't even fit in the equation.
Well, you just said it was for cleanup, extra cleanup. That's why Mike was working extra hours, but we had
See,
seasonal.
the 6 years of him working 35 hours or more don't have nothing to do with them guys who've been here 4 weeks. One of them has been, 4 weeks, I think? No, he's been here 4 weeks, 3 weeks. No, that's not. That's not even apples and oranges. That don't fit. There are categories: part-time employment, seasonal employment, and full-time employment. And it's all predicated on labor laws and hours worked. Seasonal, so many hours in a year. Part-time employees, so many hours in a week. That's just the law, you know, and he's sitting there, he's telling you that I didn't make the law up and nobody does. We're just going by the law. So if you feel like you're being forced into abiding by it, I don't think that's the intention of anything here.
I think the real problem is we don't have policies in place and we don't have job descriptions and
We don't,
We
maybe
have-
we should have a committee for that.
yeah, I mean,
Like-
we should do something. Herein lies the problem.
Yes.
Is when we don't have the right tools.
So
How do you make good decisions?
we've not planned, so we planned to fail.
Right.
So there was extra work to be done. We could have brought on additional people at the part-time level,
That's right.
but there's an institutional failure to meter the hours that folks are working and to right staff the department for the time. I asked last meeting for some kind of justification of another additional FTE. And we're going by because I feel like they have enough work. No business operates that way. If I want an additional person in my department, I've got to go to there's a whole committee that I've got to go appeal to for another FTE. This is willy-nilly, and the 11% adds on. You know, this isn't, you know, it was said that person isn't going to cost us any more because we're already paying the hours. That's short-sighted. That doesn't account for the benefits. There's a whole nother half, you know, their take-home salary is only accounting for about half of what they cost us.
On top of the insurance.
That's poor management. And it takes away the oversight of this board. Because I remember back to budget talks and we asked who we had. Is that person part-time? Oh yeah, that person's part-time. Well, if we're playing semantics and they're part-time, but we've got to give them full-time benefits, so then they're not part-time. Call an apple and an orange an orange. This is bordering on deceitful.
I know our taxpayers cannot keep writing this with our taxes. There's just no way. Some people live in poverty levels here. This is adding too much, in my opinion. Going to 11%, insurance stipend. I mean, it doesn't stop. That's my thoughts. And
But at this point, we have to go forward. And we have to take care of him because it's the policy for one, or what's the repercussion?
the repercussions is he comes back at us. If we hire full-time and forced to hire full-time because we're afraid someone's gonna come at us, that's
No,
not
he
fair
will
either.
be hired
Mhm.
for full-time.
The full-time
gonna
is
have to
taken
go.
off. Remember I took it off. That's not a
Benefits.
proposal. That is
Mhm.
not a proposal at all.
But
That
if
it
you-
would be a full-time. I
But-
took it off, so.
But
it's not,
if
you know.
you're part-time with benefits working full-time
We're
hours,
still in the same place.
it's just a word game at that point. I'd like to see a resolution come before the board that before anybody can be an FTE, that it's got to be a decision by the board to bring them on.
Mhm.
And anybody in a supervisory position must be held to that. There's got to be a cutoff, or else there's no oversight by this board. We could have 30 full-time employees because it is what it is. That is a horrible justification.
Well, and everybody can say, everybody dropped the ball all these years, it still comes back to the taxpayers, and it comes back to the leadership. You just can't.
I think what was difficult about this on mine was coming up with the recommendation too. It's like, we were talking about, just again, the plain language,
Yeah.
full-time employees, an employee who works at least 35 hours a week. Is that every week? Is it, cause they make
Well,
you.
we need to see hours.
I'm sorry?
We need to see hours.
Yeah, and I don't have that, so.
Right.
Right,
We don't-
like,
we haven't got
you know, maybe, and I understand it was several supervisors, superintendents, I mean, some authorized up to a certain point, maybe some authorized more, some authorized less, whatever it is, but is it, I think someone discussed, is it the average, is it, how does it all get calculated, but like, the policy doesn't calculate that, so I know that, 2021, was that, was there a personnel policy that was being considered and it didn't go through?
When Terry Bodie was here, Supervisor Bodie, she was working.
I don't know if that, I don't recall if in that, if it addressed full-time, part-time and what that all meant, but, if you're looking at updating that specific part of your policy, maybe look back to see what we've done then, if that makes sense, and then following what Scott said about, board.
Once again,
Authorizing the board.
I say the national labor law say, they base it on a 40-hour work week, and he doesn't work 40 hours. a week.
But quoting the law, I'm trying to separate. We are where we are because we lost track of the ball at some point in the past. But how do we prevent that from happening in the future? And I think we need to have a resolution that restricts supervisors and I don't mean the title of supervisor, but anybody who supervises employees from allowing an employee of a part-time designation to work into full-time hours. Otherwise, there's zero oversight by this board. Because, somebody down the road could hire a bunch of people. And then were we going to be forced to rubber stamp that?
No, we shouldn't.
No.
Well, to hire somebody, wouldn't it be board action though?
But we
Everybody.
had some seasonals come in, that wasn't board action.
I
Yeah,
was going to say, how many people do we have? There's two that I didn't know about.
I didn't know about until last month, we were told one, there's two, and I'm not saying they're not needed, but we have to follow procedure.
Unless you guys have done something different, I thought all employees was board action, hiring and firing.
They are.
I didn't change that.
You brought seasonals in, we didn't
Yeah,
know
that
about
was
seasonals.
emergency, that's emergency. They've been here for, one worked 2 days and the other one is worked emergency to get the limbs that you guys was complaining about up. They did it, now his task is over with.
So this is my thought, I know there was some trees down, but we also have Mike, who's doing a great job and cleaned up all those trees. He cleaned up that mess, we paid him to clean that mess. And he did a great job.
Mhm.
But we are staffed higher on this cemetery now than we ever have been here, ever to my knowledge. Even bringing two seasonals for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever they worked. Mike working so many hours, that is the most, because Joyce, there has never been
We
a
haven't had
full-time
no.
assistant.
Correct.
So the needs haven't changed out there, in my opinion.
They did change when the
One,
tornado
for-
went through,
right,
it changed.
temporary.
Yeah,
Very-
they were temporary and they're gone.
I would like to see is ours, and I would like to know a little more what we can do. Because I don't think we should make any decisions tonight on and the letter you sent to us, Seth, was great. However, it's like it's kind of my understanding, there's no threat of litigation now, but could be. And that's not fair to the township either. So I would like to see how many hours he's worked and we kind of go back and see for 4 or 6 years, whatever it is. Everybody get that together. We have, even if it's an emergency meeting, I don't care. And go over all of that and see what he has, what it's retroactive to.
Yeah, I'm looking for seasonality,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because I'm wondering, in January and February, is he still working the same amount of hours as he is in June and July?
And he has that.
We can look at the
I
hours
think the
worked.
payroll.
Yeah,
But again,
that's
he
no
has been,
secret.
because I've looked it back at some. But January and February, December, there is not justification to have a second full-time out there. There is nothing out there other than plowing, which takes one person.
And if there is, we'd like to know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At my large cemetery, we have 2 people on 100-acre cemetery for the whole winter. That's for burials as well. And we do full burials all day. Here, that doesn't happen. So that's my thought. There is not enough to keep a full-time taxpayers paying that high percentage. Can't.
No, one
What?
we have one contract.
Only one plow truck here?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. One plow truck, one person.
So I'm curious to say, well, because I'm not leading this, but I'm part of it. What do you propose or want to do? I mean, I'm going back and looking at all the payrolls and so forth. I mean, I don't see, I'm not saying that's not relevant, but we gotta go from today. What would you like to do? I mean, it's not gonna change the hours that he worked and not gonna change what he got paid. So how should we move on from today?
So like last month, we talked about keep him under part-time hours, 35 and under. But again, he did more hours this month. I understand why. But keep him under 35 until we get this under control or figure something out. And let's keep him under those hours.
Well,
Steve.
this weekend,
Yeah.
what's the situation this weekend?
We have 2 full burials on Friday. Is that your question?
Yeah. And Thor's not here, so we're gonna keep him, cut him down this weekend.
Thor's not here for Friday burial.
No, he's on vacation.
So Mike's gonna do this by himself. Is that what we're?
No,
looking at?
our backup was Kevin, his brother, that used to be the sexton. So they work together, because one person can't do it.
So then I guess if he's over 36 or 37 hours this week, he takes less hours next week. To stay
Yeah,
under
it's an
those
average, I mean,
averaged out, no more than 35, 70 hours every 2 weeks, right? That's under part-time.
Right.
And average it out. If he has to work Friday.
So I believe that he should be kept at where he's supposed to be kept at. But where do we go from here? We just can't ignore the fact that
We're not.
it's been 6 years. We have to make that right,
Yeah.
Right.
gotta make that.
period.
Well, if we have to go back and retro pay him 6 years for,
No, that's never been proposed.
okay,
That has
that's
never,
what's
ever,
staying in here. That's just the
who
possibility.
said that?
It's stating in here with this letter from Seth.
That's
Right now,
never-
it's not, but that's a
that-
possibility.
It's my understanding that they weren't asking for
Mhm.
retroactive
Mhm.
compensation,
Okay,
just moving forward that they wanted to be on it. That was my understanding.
That's never been a proposal.
okay.
Yeah.
I say part-time, no benefit. We can't afford it. I don't think we can afford it. 11% is huge. That's my thought. I guess, Randy, can you work on getting his hours to us as soon as possible for
I don't
I
have this.
can
Joyce,
yeah.
the last 4 to 6 years, averaged out? And then we move forward
And
from
what
there.
would that do though?
That'll let us know if he has been working all
If he's
these
consistent.
hours, if it's consistent.
But we still have failed, even looking back. We have failed. So that we have to make that right, or the repercussion could be worse than making it right now.
But I'm
If
gonna
the
tell you, sitting here on record, you cannot alter somebody's hours just out of the clear blue sky because you didn't like something that happened this week for next week. That's just like somebody working overtime and you deliberately don't let them work Friday to avoid paying them time and a half on Saturday. We're getting
We
into
do it
some
all the
very
time.
different, well, if you
It's
do.
not
it,
illegal. I
It
mean,
is,
if you got a
it's
part-time,
illegal.
if you got a
It is
part-time
illegal.
person working in your,
Okay, I'm not
you
gonna
have to
argue.
stay under hours.
You know better
It's
than
not.
me, but I don't think that's a good thing to say, to do.
Is that illegal, Seth? If they average 70 hours every 2 weeks and they work 20 hours this week and 50 hours the second week, they're getting their 70 hours, they're staying under part-time, and it's the same thing.
You're talking under generally under your personnel policy.
In general.
So say one more time, please.
If 70 hours were part-time, we're leaving them part-time, no benefits, and they have 70 hours every 2 weeks. If they work 20 hours one week and they work 50 to make up the next week,
Right.
that's legal.
That would be 7 years.
That would equal their 70 hours, no matter how they get it in 2 weeks, they get their 70 hours. They're still part-time.
Does it say that in your plan? If not, it could be that they're entitled to overtime pay over 8 hours in a day. It depends on how the stuff is worded.
Well, unfortunately, yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to butt in,
No,
but
right.
you're
Where's our
gonna learn
policy
the
again?
dog in the house somewhere.
See, that wasn't in the personnel policy either, with the average.
No.
Oh, because I looked at that too. Like, I understand the question that they asked about, you know, average like 20 hours this week, 50 next.
Right.
In there, it just said 35 hours a week, so like. Is that average over the course of the year, you know, because there's just a lot of
Yeah.
unanswered questions there, right? Or,
It's just kind of going back and forth, I guess. We'll get those hours from Joyce as soon as possible. And then we'll get copies, everybody, and we'll deal with it next month.
Yeah.
And try and keep him under the
Let
35.
it hold that down there. Back and forth. Man,
Okay.
Okay. That was good.
Are we good there?
we lost that, under new business right now to bring this back. What we need to do is have a motion and approve the meeting for Mr. Dwyer.
Yes.
So get a motion,
A motion, I,
all right?
Support.
Okay, so there's been a motion and support for the Mr. Dwyer's appeal.
Friday
What
the
is it,
25th,
Friday the ninth?
9 a.m.
Okay,
Friday the 25th at 9 a.m.
That's a Tuesday.
Friday
It's
the
a
20th.
Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's,
Who thought the 25th then? Because they said it was right.
It's the 25th is fine. It's just a Tuesday. So
It was Seth that said he didn't. Seth, what day did you say?
he went to the following Tuesday.
Yeah, it's 25th is what I have in my.
Okay.
Eighteenth is,
The
He said
18th.
Friday.
is
Okay.
7 days behind.
So Tuesday, I'm sorry. Yeah, corrected.
Okay.
Was it supported?
It's
Tuesday the 25th at what time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Got that right.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yeah.
Trustee Hoskins.
This is, yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Then we need a motion to move for the, budget adjustments. Accept the budget adjustment.
That's the 4,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to,
I'll
do the
second
budget adjustment for 4,000 between the contingency fund and the Parks and Rec.
it. And I'll second it.
Roll call.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Okay, now we're back to
No, then we also need to do
I have more.
the more
Wait.
from the to
on my
move,
discussion.
no, we haven't got you. We haven't got you. We're still.
we're still the budget.
accepting. We're still accepting it.
Thank
We're gonna
you.
get to you.
Thank you.
Okay,
So we have another budget adjustment to move from general fund, 62,000 and 10,000 from consumers to the Parks and Rec.
okay.
I'll make a motion.
Was that from general to parks?
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay.
72,000
I'll
total.
support.
We talked about that already.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. It's been moved and supported for that adjustment. Okay, so
Roll call.
roll call.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard.
Yes.
Trustee Hoskins.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Okay. Steph, is there anything else?
No, I don't have anything additional unless you have questions for just for me.
All right. Moving on.
You wanted a $10,000 one?
She combined it.
She
You
combined
combined it.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hear it down there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
72.
72, not 62. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Well, new business. We got trustee Hoskins. We had several issues here that she wanted to open up discussion for county boat launch. body cameras and playground equipment, and then you added one more thing,
I added road liaison.
and road liaison.
I gave Cody a copy of that. Were you able to put that up on the screen?
Stop the stream out.
Oh, okay.
We already-
I was gonna have something put up for the public. I went back and found this for the roads. May of 2025 to the board, it was delayed for a part-time roads coordinator. Part-time, no benefits. And this was a position description. The roads coordinator for Bedford is responsible for overseeing and maintenance and repair efforts within the township. This includes maintaining accurate records of road condition, bridge conditions, rivers, culverts, streams, and sidewalk conditions and needed repairs. Coordinating communication related to maintenance and repair activities, and representing the township at county and statewide meetings concerning road infrastructure. The roads coordinator must also remain informed on statewide road maintenance schedules and relevant developments. It goes on to experience budgeting, tracking and reporting coordination. And this was May of 2025 and it was delayed. And so I brought this up last month about the road liaison. I think we need a road liaison to keep track of what's going on here. And I think we have a lot of road issues. So that's just my thought. What's everybody else's thought?
I agree. We have road issues.
We do have road issues.
We've had a better year as far as repaving and resurfacing this year than we've ever had. I see more roads of West Michigan subdivisions that have been resurfaced, but we still have a lot of road issues as you drive around the township. I noticed the county today is mowing the side of the roads again.
Okay.
And they were marking trees.
And they're marking trees again, yeah. But it would be helpful to have.
So I think why it got tabled or postponed was trying to figure out how many hours they would work, the
Yeah.
dollar figure for it.
Well, I don't know. Do we need to have, I think we need to start moving it and not delay it anymore. It's been delayed long enough. If everybody's agreeing to it. What are your thoughts, Supervisor?
It's a duplication of something that's already being done by the county. And as far as attending all meetings, the supervisors attended all road meetings. And the supervisor is knowledgeable, but you want to do it. But if you rely on the engineering department for your information that you seek, they have it over in Marshall. And I even think there's engineers, Skylar Cudner. And if it's not him, I could get you to whoever you want to grill for information, but that's what they do.
I think the real issue revolves around some independence from the county. So that we have more accountability built into our system. That we could refer back to the county and say, you know, this is what your priorities are. This is what our priorities are. I know we've been doing that historically. We fund some of these projects, but I think we wanted a little independence, I think was, and more hands-on local.
But they give you, when they meet, and other projects like the coincide BCATs and the road commit, they give you an opportunity. What do you need? So
How often do they meet?
well, Valkyrie Transit is like every 2 months if there's enough agenda every other month. Road Commission, I mean, their ears are open. We can always, I mean, they have meetings, but you know, they're receptive to us. All you gotta do is talk to them.
And you've been going to the road commission meetings?
I missed none of the meetings. I've been all of them. And provided you guys with information.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the updates when we get them. It was brought to us last month that chip sealing was done without road repair. Was that taken to the county road commission, and what was their feedback on that?
Yeah, but that was a process. I sent you guys an email on it. There was a process that they were going to do as phase 1, and then they had different phases of different type of reconstructions and maintenance that they were going to do. That was the phase 1. I remember sending you the email, but if you don't, I'll dig it up for you again.
What does phase 2 look like?
They're gonna do some reconstructions, they're gonna do, what is that washout, on that road back there that's got to be, was that Calendar Road back there? I can't think of that road off the top of my head. That's gonna be a full reconstruction. Then they're going into some, overlays and some places where they're gonna take out 2 or 3 inches and give you new asphalt, but all of this stuff is done in different phases, but, I can't right off the top tell you when the projects are gonna start.
Is there an added expense when they do
No,
that? Or
it's part
that's
of,
all?
it's part of what we've already bought into.
The road, it's not a commission, it's a committee, right? Or department, road department. They changed their name a couple years ago in their designation, but they send out weekly emails about what they're gonna be working on every week.
Yeah,
I get those.
but like I said, if you feel the need for that person, I mean, I'm not objecting, I'm just saying, I don't know whether if we're reinventing the wheel or on something that's already there. If, you know, I'm sure you want to ask and get information from that person, but I think they already have somebody that you just don't have the phone numbers, but I give you the phone numbers and they give you the same information because they already pay somebody to do what we're talking about. That's
I think this came up a few times, even before I brought it up last month to last year, obviously in May, and then the year before, I think it came up as well. I just personally think our roads are so important and they're so expensive. And we really should be watching them as close as we can. Part-time, that's what he focuses on, he or she. And that's what they focus on, is this strictly, you know, benefits part-time. It wouldn't cost that much to have.
well, what kind of expert you gonna get for that? If it's just part-time, no
Until we put it
benefits?
out, we don't know.
Okay.
Just my thought. What about you, Gene?
Well, you know, the hard part's gonna be getting somebody to do this that has the experience and knowledge, perhaps a retiree
Yeah, there's
from a road department,
Mhm.
and whether it's in our township or county or some
Yeah.
other location, but that's gonna be the hard part. We need somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I think some of our roads have really went to disarray for not keeping an eye.
Everybody else got quiet. Think about it some more. I'd be curious to call that county person. I'd like to talk to them and see what
They'll take your call.
yeah, I'd like to call them.
What have we done in the past? Did we have a paradigm in the past that we should revisit?
Actually, as I remember, we did have, now, we didn't call him a road liaison, but, back years ago, around between 2018 and 2020, I recall Sally, Shaw was involved with the roads. She was on staff, but it was, you know, sort of what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not against it. I'm just, you know, think you need it, and so be it.
Have we asked for volunteers? I think we have, people in our midst that have expertise.
To volunteer,
I mean, if,
that'd be great, but
That'd be excellent.
yeah.
I still want to talk to the county guy
Okay.
before I make any decision.
Back in the
I
day,
don't know what he
I
had.
do remember when the county had citizens, committee, road committee or something like that, you know, a couple of doctors was on it and everything, and what did they know about roads? And, so they abolished them guys, you know, Frisbee was there then, he was a commissioner. And then they brought in full-time people. I don't even know what kind of committee or commission that they have for it now, but,
can I dig around on this for a little while and
Sure.
then we can revisit it? I will do a lot of digging. And see what,
If you give me the contact name of the guy in the county, that I
okay,
should call.
Email that to us.
Yeah,
I'll
I
do
give
some
you the
digging.
number. She don't have his number. I'll give you the number.
okay. I would really like to know how often he's out here, what he's looking at.
And what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that. And it'll just go on for discussion next month then. Okay. Should we move on, Supervisor?
It's your floor.
Okay.
You got all these issues, but the floor is yours.
Okay, county boat launch site. Nothing new there. I just want to make sure, and Mike updated us on that, that he's going to be doing it as a planning commission. I just want to make sure he's got everything he needs and that he's moving that forward. And then that's all. I just wanted to make sure it is moving forward and not set aside. Any questions?
I'll clarify during my personal or my podium time.
Thank you. Playground equipment. We just got this at our table here tonight. I guess, do you want to explain this, Supervisor, or where are we at with?
I'll let Cody, right.
Cody, this is
Cody,
Cody.
those,
I got this like an hour before.
hold it. We have a parks committee, a recreation committee, so it was Cody and Tony and myself looked at this stuff. So I'm referring to them because the Parks and Rec got this information. So I'm letting them report on it.
I had to make up a couple different quotes for us. The two big ones don't include the slide. The slide is like a 10 to 12 week lead time. So they made one off of just the slide with no installation. If we were to self-install, it doesn't void any of the warranty. This still comes with all full warranty and everything like that. And the slide would be a lot easier than the other parts. The other two projects, or the other two quotes, for the monkey in the middle set, that's in stock. From the time of signing the contract and putting it onto the deposit, they think they can be done in about 3 weeks, fully installed and everything like that. That comes with, each quote has slight differences in the amount of engineered wood fiber. And then things like the weed barrier and the plastic landscape timbers to expand. State code is 9 inches of wood chips on playground surfaces. After about 2 months, that compresses 2 to 3 inches, so they're erring on the side of caution. You know, the kind of shooting would need to be 12 inches. She used satellite imagery to kind of judge what our current footprint is, and how much bigger we need to be, and the slight differences in the two quotes. This, I think we can get it slightly cheaper, because this does include removal of the current borders and wood chips. So if we were to do that ourselves. But yeah, installation cost is roughly 9,000 to 9,100 for that. They do also on the second page of each of those quotes. I stupidly did mine in black and white, but those are the two color options. One type of green and the other is a bright, more playful color.
And price for both.
Yeah, yep, no difference in price between the colors.
So from our last estimate, Cody, to this one, how much did it go up? Was the last one like 30?
Well, for the playground or the monkey in the middle set and the slide, it was like 30,000.
30?
Yep, but that didn't include installation.
Right.
The landscaping fabric, the edge, the wood chips, the installation, the dumpster rental or the removal. Right now, the cheaper of them is 41,083, and that includes all of that. The slightly more expensive one with a bigger footprint is 45,477.
Do both of these have the slide?
Neither has a slide.
Neither of them have the
Yeah.
So
slide.
that's an extra of 15.
Yeah.
On top of 41. So we went up almost 20,000 just for installation over
Well,
20,
we were warned. Yeah.
a lot.
Cody, if I may, if the slide were to be added, what would that do to the necessary footprint quoted in these other quotes?
So when I explained it to her, I had asked for a quote that would be, I believe the higher of the two quotes is to expand the footprint to include an area for the slide, and the lower one is to not include an area for the slide.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what I had asked for, yeah.
So this is a 60 by 40 play area. What was out there before? Size wise, do you know?
I forget off the top of my head, kind of funny shape, but that big.
Mhm.
If I may- I can do it for
That's
this.
a nicer play area.
And if you look, I mean, the engineered wood fiber adds between almost $7,000 to $10,000. It would maybe be cheaper with the rubber mulch, because it only requires 3 inches of the rubber mulch instead of 9 inches of the wood mulch, and it doesn't compress over time. But it does have the tendency to kind of get slimy, and with that area being low with a high water table, I would imagine it would get kind of slimy.
So we'd have to look at safety there, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just cleanliness. So currently it's about 63 foot wide and about 63 by 40 or so. That
That's
is-
close though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just added it on because I was just curious where we're at with it, because we have seen anything, that's all. This was what I was
A
looking
little
at.
bit bigger.
Mhm. I'm not sure we want to vote on that tonight.
And I think, there was quite a bit of concern on the part of the community. I'd like to see this go on the webpage so the community can see it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And like I said, we just got this today ourselves, so
Alright.
we need more time to look at that. And again, I put that on my discussion because we hadn't heard anything about that, so. Put that on the website and we move it to delay it, I guess. Mhm. Everybody good with that? Well, mhm. Okay,
Cody, also when you come back, when the Parks and Rec Committee meets fully with this, it'd be nice to have their recommendation.
Absolutely.
when do you guys meet again, Cody? You guys just met, didn't you?
Next meeting is 2 weeks, I believe.
Okay, so before our next meeting, you'll meet?
Yeah.
Okay,
24th, I think.
Or if they have something that they're recommending.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can have
yeah. A lot of money, a lot. Are we good with that?
Well, and Cody was right last time. I did a little independent
Mhm.
looking at ADA compliant
Yeah.
playground equipment, and it is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So,
I did too, it is, there's a lot of that goes into it.
yeah.
Okay, the last, go ahead, Cody.
I was gonna say, and the lady did say if we are able to find like a local manufacturer of the wood fibers and things like that, I might be able to drop the price on if they don't have to ship it up. So that's also something we could look into.
Okay.
Are we kind of late to do it this year now? With it being already August, I mean, we're looking into next month before even considering, which is gonna be September.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't vote on it until next month, it's 2 to 3 weeks out on installation from time of contract signing, so it's not a long process to install that.
Well, and the other thing I'd ask us to be cognizant about is that that's also with a discount. So,
Yeah.
Could change
Yep,
Right,
it is on
so,
right now.
you know, that's. Like I said, I'm very aware of that after having looked online, it's, yeah. Get a decent car.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing was body cameras. I know that, trustee Blanchard has talked about this, and we've had some emails back and forth on body cameras. And do we have body cameras here in office?
I've been told we have one.
We have one. We have one, okay, one camera,
One Axon, I was told.
okay. So we're kind of moving the thoughts of starting to have our blight wear a camera.
I was told he's already been instructed to
Been
wear it.
wearing it.
What?
He's been wearing it.
Been working.
How long has he been wearing it?
Since we talked about it, how long ago?
Oh, I could go back
Over
to
a
the
month
email,
ago.
but it's
Yeah.
been,
I sent that out to you guys.
Okay, so where is those videos getting stored?
It's in his camera, but here's the thing about the cameras. He doesn't wear it from the time he walks in this building and walks out of this building and never turn it off and off. He'll use it in specific situations. If he's doing door hangers or something of that nature, he's not wearing his blight camera. If he had to make contact, or might be in a potential situation where it is thought you would need it, he'll have it. So it's not like, even like police officers, you don't have your camera on now, do you?
No, I don't.
So it ain't no different.
I will say that it constantly rolls.
Right.
Like, we can
There.
review it in, I think it's 72-hour window. We can go back and pull that camera footage from any time.
Yeah.
Right.
It just has to be on.
So he hasn't had any. I mean, it's there for you to see, So, I mean,
Right,
if you're
well-
looking up something or an incident came up or something of that
Right,
nature.
that's my thought. He should probably have it on at all times, because blight can be, anybody involved in blight, going to someone's house with this kind of situation can get into a situation. So he should have it on at all times. I don't know that we could pick and choose whose house or when he's gonna have it on.
well, and I think it's for the protection of the officer as much as it is for the
Both.
protection of the homeowner.
Both of
You
them.
know, if you've got him going onto somebody's property and there's an accusation, I want us to be able to sit down and assuage the resident that something wasn't done improper.
Understand what I'm saying? The whole time that he's out doesn't necessarily mean, if he's going to somebody's house or something like that, he'll turn on. If he's out, if he's going to court or citations or something, he don't have it on. He's not gonna be running all the whole time he's in.
Right, I don't
you know.
expect it to run all the time. I'm just saying, when he is approaching someone's house,
That's why we got it.
then that should be on at all times. You can't pick and choose who,
That's why we got it.
where, what
that.
house he's gonna turn
For
it.
that, but
Okay.
not for the whole time he's working, because he doesn't do door to door all the time.
So every house moving forward, he has it on when he gets out of his vehicle.
It's been that way. It's
Okay,
not moving
okay.
So
forward.
is that something that needs a policy,
I
or is
think
that?
so.
So Seth, would we need a policy, or would we need a resolution? Because we need to make sure.
You
we
don't
have
need a
it.
resolution.
I mean, it's functionally through this day. Like, I mean, it's a resolution, the declaration of policy is a policy.
Mhm.
It's gonna have the same effect.
Mhm.
So whatever the preference is, is there a
Mm-hmm.
policy, Randy, is there a policy now? I think you said he was wearing it.
No, there
We
isn't.
have
Now,
not.
I don't have a problem, with the board setting a policy.
Mm.
But to codify and make a law, the city of Bell Creek don't even do that.
But a resolution is law, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's a
I mean,
declaration, it's not.
okay. So I was gonna say, what do we do? Call the police on our blight officer because the camera wasn't on? I mean,
Well, no, I'm
That's
not
what-
saying that. We have to have repercussions and
Right,
a
right.
warning if you don't turn it on. This is what happens. If it happens again, you get another warning or whatever the case. And number 3, then you're gonna get disciplined. We have to have some kind of procedure here and
A policy.
I would
with
say-
everything going on.
That's what I say, a policy
Okay.
guideline, we vote on that, put it in our
It's
book.
like a personnel policy.
Right, so our personnel policies are bad. They need
I
to be
know, but we
updated.
can-
That's,
We can do this, say, at the next meeting, if we can write up
You
something.
could do that at this meeting.
I think we
take
can't
2
wordsmith
minutes?
quite properly.
I'm sorry.
can we take 2 minutes back?
I think we
Yeah,
need
so
to,
that's- Oh, we need a pause.
how about you, the supervisor, give us a draft policy. To wordsmith,
I have no problem
yeah,
doing it. And I don't have no problem with it being a policy.
right. Yeah,
That's what's your recommendation? You were saying either or, right?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm looking right now, I'll just do myself here, if there's a policy, and then it'd be presented, adopt that by resolution.
Mhm.
That'd be the-
Mhm. And again, it's to protect our blight officer, but it's to protect our residents as well, and we should.
Oh,
move forward.
yeah.
And then the storage, that was my next question. Randy, I asked you about storage. Did you check to see, are the videos going into our cloud? Where are the videos
No,
going?
it's just on this camera.
How much
We can get,
storage is on that
I
camera?
don't know that. Mhm.
Because we have to, so Seth, that's the next question though. We have to, how long do we have to hold these videos? 60 days, 90 days?
It's gonna, I'm gonna check the general schedules for record retention,
Mhm.
and that'll get me that.
And then we have to make sure that we have a place to store those and don't lose them. Cause that's when we could get in trouble for that.
Mhm.
So Seth, you'll check on record
Yeah,
retention
yeah.
for it. Okay.
So I have another subject. As he's checking, do you mind if we move forward? Okay, request from the animal control is that we change our ordinance, because in our township ordinance, everything is a misdemeanor. So if your dog goes and visits the neighbor, it's a misdemeanor. They want us to change it to a civil infraction, which means you're not gonna get a ticket, you can get a warning, you're not gonna go to jail. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not gonna be a record. So they'd like us to change it so it's in line with yours.
So they want it not a misdemeanor to a civil infraction, which is less.
Correct. The
Yeah.
civil infraction,
Yeah.
yes.
They want it
I
the
don't-
same as what theirs is.
Yeah, I don't want my dog, I don't wanna go to jail.
Yeah. So just something to
Maybe
consider.
That needs to go to planning commission.
Oh,
It would not need to go to
Power.
the planning commission's police power,
Yeah,
but you guys are talking about a whole lot of stuff. I'll take a warning for interrupting, but like, you're not sharing stuff with the public. And you can't do that. You can't make up resolutions in the middle of a meeting that aren't on the agenda and go, I'm gonna pass X, Y, and Z, like.
no, I'm not asking to pass.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the previous things that we've discussed. It was very confusing tonight out here in the audience. Anyway, sorry.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm asking for resolutions, I'm asking how we can move forward to start implementing things.
Well, I'll give a chance.
You list done?
I'm good.
Christie, you had 2 minutes, sheep.
I
You're-
just would like to
you're
step
on.
out, just step out for just a second.
Oh, all
Is
right,
that can we pause the meeting for just a minute?
yeah.
Are you guys, okay, sorry, thank you.
You don't have anything else. We're going into public comment anyway.
now nice. Liaison back to the planning commission, the animal control. Do that.
Thank you.
I thought they would, that's why I didn't put them in.
Thank
All
you.
right, here we go. I guess that concludes, trustees, Hoskins,
Yeah.
concerns. So we're going now with public comment. Anybody wishing to speak?
I've provided you with some reading material.
Who are you, sir?
I don't have to tell you that.
Okay.
I filed a formal grievance back in May. I've provided you with the reading material. And I also included the trespass notice that I sent after the May 13th meeting, or May 12th meeting, excuse me. Filed a formal grievance against your blight officer. And despite the boundary that I set with the trespass notice, his intimidation tactics are still continuing right here in this room on the 27th. He crab walked sideways across the room from that door to that door. And he walked sideways. I was sitting right there and he walked sideways, just staring me down, trying to intimidate me. You don't need a body camera. You need a new blight officer who knows what he's doing.
Good evening, board members. Bill Moore, Community Affairs Manager with Consumers Energy. So I didn't speak last month because it was a bit premature by about a week, but I am here and pleased to tell you that we are now the proud owners of, officially the proud owners of Spring Creek Solar. We took ownership and control of that facility on July 24th, and we are putting power to the grid. So it's officially operational. We are in the process right now, and I checked in this morning, and we have a person on vacation, but we're in the final stages of preparing the documents and getting all the signatures for Eagle so that we can send those documents up. So your final renewable ready communities payment will be made to the township. So hopefully we'll get that by next month. I mentioned, I think a couple of months ago, any dead trees, this is part of a SLUP, but we are going to go through an inventory of those, and any trees that didn't make it through the initial planning will be replaced in the fall to help secure, and hopefully they'll survive through the winter. We have about 20 people currently on site doing punch list items, cleaning things up. Most of the trailers and most of the staff has been removed and off site. We expect that the bulk of the staff will be off site in the next couple of months. So we will maintain a trailer on site probably through the mid part of next year. And our staff will have a regular presence as we do the ramp up phase of the project, just to make sure if something breaks or they need to test or fix some equipment, they'll be on site to do that. After that, they will operate out of the Battle Creek Service Center downtown. So they'll be right close by and be able to be reachable. So I want to thank the township for your partnership, your cooperation, and Mike and the Planning Commission and Seth and the whole team. It's been a long haul. I mean, it's been years and years and years and years to get to this point. So we're finally glad to be over the hump and generating power for the people of Michigan and tax revenue for the township. I will say, Seth mentioned the PILD agreement. We did. Sorry, it's been so long getting it to you, but it is to you. We did make the request, and I read some things online for another part of the state where a project put in for the same thing, and so I wanted to dispel any rumors right out. We're not putting in for a tax break. Okay, this is just an alternative way of calculating the tax for this property. And it goes back to the days when the first wind turbine facilities were put in state. And there's a lot of disagreement about what those facilities were worth and how fast they depreciated. And so a number of communities ended up in court with us, with DTE, and we want to avoid that. So a lot of work was done with MML and MTA, the counties, all the local government groups, attorneys, our attorneys, And so what was arrived at is what's currently state statute, which is the $7,000 a megawatt over the life of the project for 20 years. So the township and the assessor will not have to try and calculate what this is worth every single year in the depreciation. We will know exactly what our tax is, and so will you, your revenue. So hopefully it's good for everybody. So thank you very much, and look forward to working with you.
If I can add to my previous statement, I'd like documents that I've.
You've had your time. Is anybody else wishing to speak in public comment?
I didn't use my whole 3 minutes.
Mike Stipe, I've got a long list, 3 minutes isn't enough, but we'll give her a shot. As far as my comment about the resolutions, you're talking about a road coordinator, you had a job description that you read and you sounded like you were going to vote on that. And that was not even part of the agenda to begin with. That was the nature of my comment there. I'd like to know where you got that job description. To be honest with you, was it prepared by our former superintendent from 2025? You know, I mean, when they thought they were going to do that, there's a road report that was prepared by your road advisory committee free of charge, and we've done nothing with it. You know, okay. You know, I really would like to see, you know, site plans and stuff. When we're talking about spending that kind of money on playground equipment, I just don't see why we can't provide the information for the public to look at. I really don't. Yeah, what else I got here? We're talking about, you know, another committee and, you know, this, that, and the other. And I just, like, there are so many things that we have going on here, personnel policies, fire station, you know, CIP that we've never even discussed. I mean, like, we don't need another committee. We need to work together to get the work done, as far as that goes. The situation out at the cemetery, I mean, you know, we're talking about, you know, the employee and hours and taking their hours down and stuff. I have employees. I've been a business owner for almost 20 years. I'm telling you, the fastest way to piss off an employee and get yourself into the hot seat is by trying to change their hours unexpectedly. I mean, there's just no call for that. You know, we're talking about, it was so focused on the cemetery and we're not that busy, Not all those guys are doing. Maintaining your parks, they're mowing, they're painting stuff, they're staining, you know, the bridge at Keith Skierman. I mean, you know, I'm a broken record here, but job description, let's get them. And then you can argue and fight about what we're going to pay the employees and this, that, and the other. I mean, it's just every month we're going backwards. You know, the blight official is wearing a body cam now. You know, I mean, when did that become policy? You know, it sounds like it got brought up at a meeting and boom, we're going to do it. Like, these are all things that need to, you know, if I'm the employee, I'm telling you, it's not in my job description. I'm not wearing it. I don't care about your resolution. You know, I mean, it's a two-way street here. You know, it sounds like we may have an issue there. You know, I mean, I'm hearing about door hangers and a blight report that had 60 things on there, you know, complaints. Whoa.
One more.
1 month.
What did you ever have 60 complaints in them?
Never.
Never had 60 complaints in a year, did you?
Me neither. It's been a scam. Adam Michael, here again to spew my hot air upon you all so that you can roll your eyes and not listen and do whatever the heck you guys want to do still. Some of you are still trying to do the right thing, and I appreciate that. We need to hire a new attorney, first of all. He's failed again to send out any information, but it's also the clerk's job and the supervisor's job to make sure that things are on the agenda. Last month, we had to stop the meeting before you finalized the whole meeting. The very last second to make sure that you got stuff on there, right? Why? Today, I finally got information from the attorney that I talked about last month. That actually was a month prior to that. It's been 2 months
that I was told that I had information that I should not have, that I was given to in a FOIA. 1,026 emails. Again, it's not even, it's all BS. Get ready, I'm gonna FOIA request more emails. It's coming real soon. This time, you guys better do the FOIA correctly. I'm not playing games anymore with you guys. This is getting way out of hand. So, I gave you, Mr. Johnson, supervisor, a packet about storm damage to my property, that your property south of mine continues to happen. That was back in March. Since then, I've had more damage to my property. I brought it up last month. I did not receive still any correspondence. Why, Mr. Johnson, have I not had a correspondence from you? No, that's what I thought. So I also brought up correspondence that I asked. I gave a letter to you as well as the blight officer to give me correspondence about a letter that you guys gave me demanding stuff about me and my property. You didn't respond to me, but instead, after that blight officer attacks one of your residents here in front of you all, after that same employee brought a motorcycle club to intimidate us here to a meeting, that same man that goes and writes me a ticket, which has never been actually filed in the court, still as of today. That man drives by my house repeatedly, like I said last month, taking pictures and wanting to write me up for things while he drives by a log in the middle on the roadway that I had to take care of on Father's Day. And I'm not supposed to be upset here at this podium when you guys want to praise yourselves and not do your basic job.
Your time's up, sir.
Damn you all.
Your time's up. Anybody else wishing? Thank you for that too. Anybody wishing to speak?
I want a response from you. When am I getting it?
Your time's up, buddy.
That's all right.
Your time's up.
Thank you. You'll hear from me.
Sometimes, you guys gotta remember on your road things, county owns the roads. So if you're gonna try to do something part-time, you're gonna have to work through it. The county does their repairs based on the Pacer system, unless this has changed. So if you get to talk to somebody from the county, you need to do that. But you're gonna take the county with a grain of salt. Anything you do with them, make damn sure you get it in writing.
Sure again.
Anybody else wishing to speak in public comment?
Tony Arda, a couple of things, and then I need to add on to my park, report. But I think the board has become more, reactive instead of proactive. We've heard about job descriptions were gonna be written. We've heard about ordinances were gonna be updated. And then it quiets down and nothing gets done with them as far as the public knows, until something blows up and then it becomes an issue again. So we really need to get ordinances updated. You need to get your policies in place. Job descriptions, you got to get it taken care of. And that would solve a lot of your problems. Now to the parks and rec, a couple of updates. I didn't know about any of the playground equipment tonight, so that's why I didn't talk about it ahead of time. So I just want to make that point made. And then I want to acknowledge, if you've been out to Skeets Gearman, you'll notice a big barrel planter full of flowers that looks really nice, and that was done by Nancy Chantrine. She put that together. She is the daughter of Skeets Gearman, and she asked if that could be done. And I talked with the board. I emailed you all, and then I talked with Thor and Mike to make sure, she's going to take care of it. She waters it. The Lions Club comes over and waters it. So we're thankful for that. And then the sign at Skeet Scarement, it took too long to get it taken down. So I don't know if it's gotten put back up, Cody. We're not gonna have, we want it back up for the festival. So that will come down again. And Libby Hegner Garman, I hope I said that in the right order, has volunteered to redo that sign. She did it before, but it's a 60-day process to paint and stain and varnish. And so we wanted it up for the festival, and she doesn't have time to get that done now. So that will be done over the winter if you notice it gone one day again. So I just wanted to make sure those two got recognized. So thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak or public comment? Seeing none, then we'll move on to trustees' personal purpose. Trustee Blanchard.
Thank you. First off, I appreciate the comments from the public. You know, you guys bring very good points. Some of us are coming into this from a position of not having all of the historical data as far as how the road advisory committee. I'm sorry, I've not had an opportunity to delve into that. I'm just kind of now hearing about that. I think that's a great thing. We have a paid on call fire department. We don't need 4 houses of 3 shift guys. We're a small community. If we have a group of concerned, knowledgeable citizens that would find value in assisting with kind of double checking the county, if you will, I think that would be amazing. I wouldn't mind learning and being able to be a part of that. I don't know anything about roads other than they're falling apart. So I think we need to look at ways that we can do things and be budget minded and responsible with the tax dollars. I don't think we need to grow additional paid positions. With regard to the cemetery employee that we've talked about, I don't know him. I'm sure that everybody I've heard say he does a great job and he works hard. I'm not doubting that. What I'm saying is that we should have a job expectation based on a job description. And if we don't have those, well, shame on us, but that doesn't give us carte blanche to not correct a problem that we know is out there. So we need to get on top of that. And that's on us. I worry about, in my business, we call it scope creep. I worry about bringing somebody on. So we've got 2 seasonal employees and then we use them more and more and more. And now we're locked into a larger payroll. That's not fair to the citizens. We've just got to get this stuff under control and have some checks in place. That's just my perspective.
There's a lot to go over and I'll be getting the information you've asked for.
Thank you.
And reviewing things that were asked for by the public. On a happy note, the wall's coming through. So if anyone's interested in being part of the Veterans Wall, Vietnam Veterans Memorial, they're starting at 1 o'clock in Galesburg at the high school. And you can join the parade or you can watch it from the streets. There's a parade route. We'll put this on our website. It's on the county website as well, I believe.
Treasurer.
There was quite a bit to take in tonight. Scott, you do have valid points and good points. I'm just still trying to take it all in and replay it. I thank you everybody for taking the time to sit here through this. Meeting's been long and we appreciate you. And thank you for coming.
Trustee Hoskins.
Thank you. I would like to start to say that our board members and our employees have had some family loss lately. Kind of hit everybody hard here. So I want to make sure that they're all in my prayers and everybody keeps them in their prayers as well. As far as the road liaison, I'd like to address that. I sent an email and I asked the supervisor to put it on the agenda. So I apologize about that it wasn't. I gave this to Cody to put on here so everybody could see it, but Cody wasn't able to do that. So I just want to let you know, the boat launch, body cams were added just to make sure we're not losing sight of our duties because we talked about those last month. We also have a project report that we received from the supervisor, which is great. But that kind of opened up some topics for us to be able to talk about as well, as far as if they have any updates or not. And this project that we did get that paperwork, it would be nice for this to go on our website. I'm trying to find it. Do you have yours? This one. So this would be nice to put on our website. This is, Randy did this and I appreciate that, Randy. It is open projects that are completed, where they're at, and so on forth. And this can be added on every single time. And this should go out to the public so they know where we're at. My other thing with Blight, he is complaint based. And if we have over 40 complaints in 1 month, that's interesting. The other thing is anybody that sends emails, no matter who it is, what complaint, they need to be addressed fairly and with respect. We have to do that. Let them know we're looking at what they're dealing with. Job descriptions. Moving forward, we do need to do job descriptions, but we should meet with every single employee here. Go over what they do, what their expectations are, what they do, what they don't feel they shouldn't be doing, but they're doing. That's the only way we're going to move that job description forward. And I think that's a good thing to move forward. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you all for coming.
Trustee McKay.
Yes, thank everybody for coming. Trustee Blanchard and Trustee Hoskins have raised some valid points. We had some good discussions tonight, and I appreciate the input that we received from the public. One thing that we all on the board have to be very aware of is maintaining and protecting our budget. And there's a lot of things that I have seen this year and this past year that I call it attack the budget. That things that we cannot anticipate that cause a negative impact on our budget. We're in good shape right now. I hope we continue to be in good shape to the rest of the year. But I know that the board and myself personally, we really focus on the budget heavily because it's one of our main responsibilities. But thank you all for coming. And as a reminder, yes, we do have a planning commission meeting tomorrow night in this room at 6 o'clock. We don't normally have it on that schedule that way. This is a special one. So you're all invited to watch or attend. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for coming out. Meeting adjourned.